Hey everyone, welcome back. So Palantir will be releasing their Q2 earnings on August 12th, and there is a lot of expectation from the earnings, and that's exactly what we are going to cover today. And we are starting now, but please do watch the video till the end, and if you like the video and also what I'm showing you today, then please consider subscribing, smash the like button so we can reach out to more Palantir lovers. Okay, so on your screen, what I have done is I have divided this research into multiple parts. First, again, this is a number heavy episode, so if you are driving, if you are listening while you are doing something else, I would recommend you watch the video again because there is some interesting stuff going on here that I'm presenting to you. So the first thing I'll show you is a history on your screen. I'm just going to enlarge it right here. Yep, you can see it. So the history on your screen of the screenshot of past few earnings. What you can see clearly is what the stock did before the earnings were announced and what the stock did after the earnings was announced. So as you can see that any time the earnings was released, so let's start with Q3 of 2020. So the stock was 1458. After the earnings was 1580, so it was up by 8.5%. Then in February 16, which was the results for Q4, the stock was 3191. Afterwards was 2784. It dropped almost 13%. Then the previous Q1 of 2021, the stock was 1847. Right after was 2021, which was about 9.5% increase. So from the data, we can see that 2 out of 3 times stock has gone up after the earnings. But during Q4 results, the stock dropped. And I'll come back to this towards the end of the video as this is huge reference to what I'm about to share with you today. Okay, so now this is what I have done for this video. I'll show you past earnings, what they reported in these earnings. Again, companies give an estimate on the expected earning for the next quarter. So I will underline those statements so you can see clearly what Palantir promised they will be doing for the next quarter. And I will show you what Palantir actually delivered in those quarters. So let's start with quarter 3 of 2020. So quarter 3 of 2020, Palantir reported a revenue of 289.4 million, which is right here. Okay, that was 52% growth year over year. Now, they told us in Q3 what they expect to do in Q4. And they told us that they will be doing about 300 million of revenue in Q4 of 2020, about 30% growth year over year. So they said in Q3 and Q4, they will be doing 30% more than previous year. That was their expectation. Now, let's look at what they reported in Q4. So on your screen, I'll show you, they reported 322 million of revenue in Q4 and 40% increase year over year. So in other words, that they underpromised and over-delivered. Now that's what keeps me invested and interested in this company. But let's see now, in Q4 of 2020, they gave us an estimate that in Q1 of 2021, they will grow 45% year over year. That was their growth or expected growth for Q1 of 2021. Now let's come to Q1 of 2021. So in Q1 of 2021, they actually grew 49% year over year or 341 million in revenue. So what they promised in Q4 of 45% growth, they actually crossed that and they gave us 49% growth, which was almost 4% higher than what they promised in Q4. So I feel that they again underpromised and over-delivered. So now in Q1 of 2020, they said to us that they plan a year-over-year growth of 43% or a revenue of $360 million. So in other words, they're saying that they will have $360 million for Q2. Okay, that's what they are telling us. In my opinion, again, it's my opinion only, from the history that I have seen or from the reports that I have seen so far, and I've showed you all of them, what they promised and what they delivered. So in my opinion, they will easily break this by another 5 to 6% upside and will deliver better than expected revenue numbers or year-over-year growth. Now, if they're growing like crazy and the revenue is beating estimate, then why is Wall Street not happy with them? And why we are not seeing the stock move as it should? The reason is simple. Anytime a company grows, their expenses grow along with them. If you look at their statement of operation, this is from the last earnings. If you look at their statement of operations, you can easily see that even though they made more money in Q1 of 2021 as compared to 2020, they actually lost more money in Q1 of 2021 as compared to Q1 of 2020. Why? Because if you pay attention to the main expense here, if you see their operating expense right here, their sales and marketing went from 98 million to 136 million. Their research and development went from 65 to 98, and their general and administrative went from 70 to 146. So I'm excited about actually number one, sales and marketing. I'm really excited because this means that the company is going out there more aggressively and actually trying to reach out more markets. Another point also is that the big increase in general and admin cost of 146 million compared to 70 million last year, I call it like growing pains. And some of this cost will go away from the balance sheet in the coming months, or some of it will actually go up because again, they're growing so aggressively. So we'll see more influx of contracts, more aggressive sales because of all the efforts they're putting towards sales and marketing. So now we have covered what the revenue has done in the last few quarters, what Palantir said they're going to deliver, and they always delivered more what they promised. Now let's talk about the stock. So I have this chart that I have prepared that basically will show you the stock from its inception, and also all the earnings, the price levels are right under the same sheet that I shared initially in the video, and I told you there's a big correlation there. So let's look at the chart together and see how stock behaved leading up to earning and also right after. So if you pay attention, over time, any time when Palantir has declared or came out with the earnings report, the stock has gone up right here, except this time right here. And again, this time right here, because it was Q4 earnings, they were comparing it for the year over year. That was simply because Wall Street did not like the numbers under loss of operation because it has been increased by considerable amount year over year. So that's why they were like, you know what, they lost a lot more money in 2020 as compared to the Wall Street was expecting. So that's why the stock went down like crazy right after the Q4 earnings. But if you look over here, they were continuously going up, and even the latest earning that they reported, which was Q1 earnings, the stock went up. After that it came down. So, and also the data is also telling us, so the 3 earnings that they have reported, 2 out of 3, the stock has gone up by almost 8.5 to 9.5%. As I always say, that Amazon was not profitable for years and years when they were starting out, because they were so busy investing everything into the business. They were not looking at quarters. They were not looking at what we are going to do this quarter or next quarter. They were looking at what we were going to do in the next 5 years. And I feel, I'm not comparing Palantir to Amazon, so please don't hate me for that. I'm not saying that, because they're 2 different companies, 2 different businesses. What I'm saying is that Palantir is so busy growing its reach, growing its sales and marketing efforts, that they're not worried about those operational expenses that Wall Street is looking every quarter. And that's why I feel when they release the earnings, and if we see that, their operational expenses right here, operating expenses has gone up considerably again, Wall Street may not like that. But I'm really excited to see what they will show us on August 12th, and I feel they will surprise us with the revenue. And if the Wall Street still pays more attention to the expense rather than growth, then we get more chance as investors to get more Palantir at a cheaper price. One more thing, so Palantir's Q3 earning will be record breaking, and I'm already planning my trades for Q3. Because in government world, which we know is a big part of Palantir's balance sheet, the fiscal year ends on September 30th. So lots and lots of new contracts get renewed and given during August and September months. And those are the high earning months for most government contractors. So we'll see that in Q3, Palantir is going to record some crazy numbers or give us some crazy numbers. So this particular quarter, I'm not sure how the Wall Street is going to see, because they are estimating an EPS of 0.03 and the revenue of about 360 million in the upside. I feel Palantir is going to beat on the revenue number, but again, the diluted EPS may come negative and then Wall Street or the stock may go down. But Q3 will be amazing in my opinion, because end of fiscal year, more contracts for the government. So I feel anytime companies like Palantir, companies like Tesla, when they report earnings, that's a perfect opportunity for investors like you and me to take advantage of those times. Again, those times are given very few times a year to us, and I take full advantage of that. Doesn't matter if the company report bad earnings, doesn't matter if the company report good earnings, there is always a way to take advantage of those earning days or those big news days. Like for example, Tesla just reported earnings. The next day, the stock took a beating. It was down by like 5%. I took awesome opportunity of that day by selling more cash covered puts for that Friday, because I knew that stock is going to come up. The earnings were amazing, Tesla. And Tesla has become such a mature company right now. Same thing with Palantir. Palantir is a growth company. Palantir will take some years. Tesla took a long time, all the way like almost 5-6 years before we could see all the retail investors, all the institutional investors get excited about Tesla because they're like, okay, this company is doing something really cool. And I feel Palantir, even though they're not coming out with FSD, but they're doing so many big things in so many big industries that I feel this company will be a beast in the couple of years. So I really look forward to any kind of news, any kind of video that Palantir puts out, because I feel that that's a perfect opportunity for us investors to look at company or look at that news from a different angle. So I hope I was able to provide you some value in today's video and give you some straight answers and insights on what we might see from Palantir on August 12th. I know I'll be on the lookout. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Do smash the like button, as it does help a lot in making this video reach out to more Palantir lovers. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.